Hey guys, I've talked about the rich going up into outer space, and I've talked about what that means. Um, there's people that are surprised that I don't follow with the Dragon Force Space Link stuff. I don't follow everything that they do as far as going into space, the privatization of space. I've talked about a great book that Michael Brooks put me on. I think it was Black Adder, talking about book was written back in the 80s, talking about the rich conducting their own private study of the planet, and their scientists telling them that basically it's over with, that the Earth is going to be uninhabitable, and so they left the planet, and how almost sacred that was compared to now, where they're just doing it. There's no secretive about it. And that every year we get more storms. Every year things get a little bit worse. And how many people choose to not only not believe in climate change, they actually choose to move to these areas and remain in these areas that are um, going to be under sea level very soon. You're going to have a lot of flooding very soon. I'm talking about parts of Florida. I'm talking parts of Louisiana. These are areas that are already, it's a done deal. You can't save them unless you've got a lot of money. And I've been reading about that, rich folks being able to, in one case, a gentleman, and his husband, spent 250,000 to upgrade their house. They raised the driveway by like 4 feet, and I'm like, who's got money for all that? Like, when's the last time you knew someone that redid their driveway? Much less spent thousands of dollars to raise it. Well, nobody does that. Nobody does that. My mom had a. My point is, I can't watch that stuff. There's a movie I like quite a bit called Passengers, beautiful film. That it puts forward the premise. They're able to go into deep space and all that good stuff. I don't think that would be how it would go. I think that it's tragic. It's like now we're at the end of history, and this isn't meant to be a doomsday. This isn't meant to be a ooh, we're gonna die. It's like we're at the end of history. We're watching heavier storms. I read an article the other day talking about Category 6 hurricanes are coming, and it's that is tragic. That is tragic to me to understand and know all this time we've been right, and that scientists have warned us climate change is gonna get worse. A pandemic X is coming, and nothing was done. And just like with COVID, just like with the next pandemic that's coming, whatever it's gonna be, nothing will be done with that one either. And that's very sad to understand and to know that we're just passengers on this trip to destruction, knowing that so many folks acknowledge we have problems, and yet so many people choose to deny the facts. Or you have this new thing, this new trendy thing out here that will save the world by, not using so many plastic bags and plastic straws and trips to Hawaii and stuff like that. That somehow climate change is the fault of the average human. I don't like that. I don't like that any more than the race stuff. I don't like it. I don't like it. People have to do what they can do to survive. And I've talked about that before. That it seems almost like everybody's making enough money just to avoid what's coming. That's what I hear. That's what I see. That people just making money to get out of hell. People making money just to escape the hell that's coming. Whatever that is. Whether it's wildfires, whether it's you're living in an area prone to flooding, whether it's um, heat waves, whether it's whatever. You're not spending the money on a good life for you and your family. You're spending the money to avoid catastrophe, and that's so sad. It's so sad to recognize that we as a people, we could have come together. We could have made smarter decisions to avoid crisis, to avoid catastrophe. But instead, we are all. It's almost like America really is an individual nation. It's almost like we were never going to be able to deal with these crises. Like 2020 to me was the year the bill came due. And, you had COVID, you had the wildfires, you've had the heat waves, you had all this stuff. Not just 2020, but this just last, I want to say 4 or 5 years. It's been like just we're here now. It's like a person, doctor tells them, you're going to have a disease, you're going to get progressively worse. And they're like, okay. And they're able to like still work for a while, and then it hits them bad. Like that's what 2020 was for me. It was a reminder that, hey, the world isn't normal. And no matter how much conservatives scream, it's not going to be normal. And now they're telling no matter what we do, there's still going to be 2 degrees Celsius rise, regardless of what we do. That's tragic to know and understand that. To know that for the right, the fight over climate change, the fight over pollution and all that has never been a fight based on reality. It was always a fight to buy time. That's it. A fight to buy time. And at most, they want to go back to a time that, once again, doesn't exist due to the economics. We don't use certain things as much as we did 50 years ago. That's a fact. A lot of the world's moving away from coal. That's a fact. There's certain economies that even if they got a Trump king who was in there forever, you just couldn't do some of this stuff. That they refused to acknowledge that we have to move on. I don't know. Thank you for listening.